Alright folks, it's headed back. The Apple Watch Series 5 did not hold my interest enough for me to keep it, as expected. That was the plan from the beginning. Some people briefly talked about it on the Twitch stream, like, oh Drew, you're gonna end up liking it and keeping it, but honestly, the titanium did not look as good as it did on the website, and on top of that, the always on display did annoy me. I talked about that in my Series 5 impressions video, so I figured just saying that I am returning the Series 5 was not good enough for a tech video, but there was a few things I wanted to talk about in this vlog anyway. But I thought it was an interesting milestone because milestone, I say like it's a big deal. This is the first Apple Watch that's come out that I have willingly and without having any remorse, I'm going to be returning it and keeping my Series 4 for another year. This watch is awesome. I've used it for the past 12 months obviously, and the screen is amazing. I love the way it looks. I love how the stainless steel just kind of works with any watch band, any color, any situation you're in. The stainless steel just looks awesome, and I love the way it matches my iPhone color as well, and I'm very, very happy with it. And the always on display on the Series 5 was just making me feel like I was one tap behind everything, because anytime I would tap the screen or tap a complication, it would have to light up first and be truly on. And yeah, that did not warrant me keeping a $900 watch, even though this one was close to 900 bucks. So to buy a watch that expensive and only use it for a single year just to then go buy another $1,000 watch that barely does anything differently, yeah, even the Apple sheep has his limits. You know, I'll draw the line somewhere, and that's why the Series 5 is going back. The titanium looks incredibly similar to the aluminum. I've brought that up in the past as well. If you're gonna pay extra for an Apple Watch, I feel like it should stand out in some particular way. Like, if I were to pay more than $1,000 for an Apple Watch, I would want it to be the ceramic one. That's like my dream one. That looks really, really cool. It would match, you know, your AirPods and your white polished Apple accessories and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's probably the only way I would pay more. But the Series 4, I've switched to it for a full day now, and I'm not like missing the always on display yet. It's still running fine. It's running the latest version of watchOS and everything, and I'm gonna continue using it for another year. And I could probably trick people into thinking this is the Series 5 just by saying it is, and I turned off the always on display, but now I've brought all this up on camera, so that's not gonna work. But there were some things I wanted to cover in today's video aside from the Series 5 being returned, and that includes actually trying out some of these cases we got a couple vlogs ago, the cases from Totally, to see how they fit on the iPhones that are now out. And it's kind of impressive because the Totally cases were sent to me before the iPhone event even happened. So they were guessing / working off the schematics that Apple unofficially sent out to people. So let's see if they actually fit. Okay, so we got the iPhone 11 right here. We got the case for the iPhone 11 from Totally. I'm gonna pop it in like that, and it's kind of tight actually. It's kind of on the, it's technically on there, I guess, but it's a little snug down there on the edges. It didn't feel like a real satisfying click, but it works, I guess. I mean, it's kind of odd that some of the red seeps through on certain parts of the case and not others, so I feel like they may have gotten it like a little off, maybe. It's not that perfect and snug of a fit, but it'll probably get the job done. I mean, the buttons, they all still line up and everything, and you can still click the power button, but they're definitely kind of mushy. It doesn't feel very tactile with the buttons, so not as great as probably a true Apple leather genuine case, but they are much cheaper, so there is that. And now I want to test out the leather case for this phone, which I'm vlogging on right now, the Pro Max, so I'll be switching over to the 11 very quickly. Okay, we got the Pro Max right here, got the leather case for it, gonna slide it on. Ooh, yeah, it barely made it on. It was kind of snug on the bottom. I think that's the thing I'm noticing with these cases, is the bottom part kind of slips on, it doesn't really click on, and it makes it feel like the bottom of the case is like bulging out a little bit, like it's not completely flush. So I think for the most part they got it. I mean, the ringer switch and everything lines up. The cameras obviously fit off the back like that, which is neat. So yeah, I can still feel it though when I'm holding it. Like the case is popping at the bottoms a little bit. It doesn't feel super flush, so I don't know exactly what it is. I just feel like they got the schematics a tiny bit off. Maybe they've updated it since then, but yeah, I can feel it bulging a little bit on the bottom corners, which probably most people won't know, but man, does this phone get heavy when it has a case on it. It was already the heaviest iPhone, but then you go ahead and put a case on it, makes it even more bulky. But hey, I mean, protection-wise, I'm sure it works pretty well. There's kind of a little bit of noticeable ridges on the leather on the top, but it gets the job done, and they're not too expensive. Buttons definitely don't feel too clicky, though. They're they're kind of mushy. So that's the test we've done with the leather cases. Now they did send a few others I'll have to try out, but one test I like doing is seeing how hard it is to take off the leather cases. So I'm gonna try to do that now and see how that goes. So you pull these back. Oh, it's tight. It's really tight on there. Okay, pull off the back. Okay, it wasn't that bad. I thought it would be worse. Okay, they also have this super slim, ultra thin case. These always scare me because I feel like they're going to go on the phone and never come off. So I'll try it here. Slip it on like that. Ooh, it's very... Ooh, that was a very snug fit. So this is their like ultra slim case that doesn't add much weight, but still has kind of a uniform texture all the way around if you want to protect that stainless steel. And I gotta say, this one fits on the Pro Max a lot better. When I slipped that on, it really stuck on, and it seems to cover all the stainless steel on the front while still provide a very comfortable snug for the cameras on the back. Probably makes it not wobble so much when you leave it on a table or something like that. But yeah, this is probably a case I'd be more comfortable with because you still get the slick, light feeling that the iPhone without a case would give, but you still have a little bit of protection. Though against like drops and shattering the glass, it probably won't change too much. So luckily this is the hardest glass ever on a smartphone, and these cases are usually the hardest to take off. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. Okay, you peel back from, oh yeah, they're really on there. Peel from the edges. Oh, got one lip off. See if I can get the rest of it along with it. There we go. Okay, wasn't too bad. I was able to pop that off, and I do actually have one more case that was not from Totally that I was kind of interested in trying out because this is a tech brand that Wyatt is a big fan of, and I wanted us to be matching with his Razer phone and all that. Luckily, someone sent me over one of these, the Razer Architect Slim, which is a gaming phone case because it has holes in it, so that makes it a gamer phone somehow. So this apparently is like, it has a very fancy thermophene layer, which is supposed to help with cooling and everything. It looks like a fairly protective case, so we're gonna try this one out next. Okay, so there appears to be a little bit of plastic on the bottom. Oh, you open it like this, like a book, and you can see the case on the inside, which is kind of cool. Peel it off. I need something sharp to cut this with. Maybe I can pull it from the top, just barely, like that. Oh, I'm just tearing it open like that. There it is. And there we have it. Ooh, it has sort of a interesting aroma along with it. There's that thermal protective layer on the inside with all the just bunch of holes. And I can tell this is going to be a very oily case from the get-go. My fingerprints are already causing kinds of oils on the back. Let's see how it fits on the Pro Max like this. Ooh, it is definitely more plasticky than I thought it would be. Oh, interesting. So it has little like cutouts at the top for the stainless steel, and the buttons are still accessible and that kind of thing, but provides a good amount of protection. It feels a lot more solid now, but at the same time still feeling fairly light. It's not that heavy of a case, but there you go. You know, if you wanted to have your Razer-esque design because you're an epic gamer, now you can have that while still rocking the latest and greatest phone of all time. So that pretty much sums it up. This case, I might try leaving it on for a while. I believe it's still Qi compatible. We should probably do that test really quick. I'm sure all of the cases we tested today probably still work with Qi charging, but yeah, it still works, so that's good. And there you go. That sums it up. I think my biggest criticism of the Totally leather cases is that the buttons don't feel very tactile. They definitely get a lot mushier when you use their case, and the leather ones don't really feel super snug when you first put them on. The really ultra thin one they sent does a pretty good job, and my wife has also used the clear case on her 10R, so I recommend those for the iPhone 11 and the 10R. The leather cases I'm not too sure about, and then the Razer case obviously is like in its own whole new world, but I guess it's supposed to help with cooling the back of the phone with heavy use and that kind of thing, while also making the phone still look pretty neat and interesting. So anywho, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have an excellent day. Take care.